All right, let's talk about something that can sting a little, if we're being honest. I've been guilty of it. I know I shook my family by doing this as well. Your daughter comes home and says something like, why don't we do things like their family? Or her mom lets her fill in the blanks. Or even, I wish our family was more like theirs. And immediately, what happens inside of you? There's that little pinch, right? That defensive feeling. Maybe even a thought like, am I not doing enough? But today, I want to gently shift your perspective, Mama, because what if I told you this is actually a really good thing? I know. Don't hate me, but I want you to listen, okay? Give me a chance to explain myself. Here we go. If you are frustrated with how to get your teenage daughter to open up to you because all you want is to connect with her as you once did, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Jeannie Baldomero, a former rebellious teen, now mom of 3 young adults, educator, and the mom mentor, equipping you to create open communication with your girl so she can come to you about anything, even if she's scared. So grab your oat milk latte, breathe, and let's do this together. Okay, Mama, are you finding yourself feeling frustrated trying to figure out your girl in this stage and not getting far with maybe even asking some questions? She's just like a stone wall. Mouths are closed, or even just getting one-word answers, or maybe an attitude that you didn't ask for because you're simply asking a question just because you want to know more about her because she's not talking to you. You literally get one word or even a shrug or the silent treatment, or maybe a roll of the eye. I get you. I honestly read many books to unravel this mystery of connecting with my once sweet little girl. What happened? Why all of a sudden she's a different girl? And then I even question, have I failed as a mom raising her? What did I do to deserve this? What if I said something that will cause consequences that maybe we won't have a great relationship? Or even worse, maybe I'm pushing her away enough that she'll not want to share with me again. Okay, maybe that was a bit dramatic, but really, who else thinks this way? I hope it's not just me. Mom guilt at its finest. And our teenage daughter has a great way of finding that mom guilt card and flashing it in our faces. So, you know what? I decided things needed to change. I couldn't get into that spiral, that roller coaster ride that my daughter was taking me on. Actually, my kids were taking me on. So I asked myself, what did I need as a young teenage mom? So I decided things are going to change. This kind of brought some traumatic experiences as a 13-year-old myself and what I had put my mom through, but I had to really dig deep and revisit that young Jeannie. I asked myself, what did I need as a young teenager? And go do that. I'm able to connect with my girl better than my mom did with me. And as a young adult now, she loves making connections, is brutally, and I say brutally, honest with me, with her feelings. But that's what I welcome. I want her to be open and trust me. We've done the work together by establishing a safe space for her to talk. And I want to help you do the same too, Mama. My Talk to Your Teen Girl framework allows me to walk you through a step-by-step actionable lessons that will help you create open communication with your daughter so that you can connect with her once again. You'll learn how to establish a safe space, learn how to respond to your daughter so she will feel heard and understood, as well as printable templates that allow you to guide your discussion so it's not as emotional as it can be and you get the conversation going. Let's do this together. Create open communication with your daughter so she can come to you even when she's scared. Head to talktoyourteengirl.com. That's talktoyourteengirl.com. As a 8th grader, junior higher, even high schooler, I was always at my friend's house. I hung out there, I think, I hate to admit it, more than I hung out in my own house, simply because I felt like my friends' parents let them do more than my parents let me do. And quite frankly, I was a little embarrassed my parents would be just as strict with my friends when they were over as they were with me. And I felt being at my friends' homes, I felt a little more freer. It wasn't my home. I felt the parents were able to do things. My best friend and her mom practically let her do anything. And so being at her house was much more comfortable than being at my own. And I know I probably said a thing or two about why can't we be like so-and-so's family, or her mom lets her do this. And I know I've done that quite a few times as a 13-year-old with my mom. And, it can sting. It could hurt. You work so hard for your family. Maybe like my mom, she was probably thinking the same thing. You work so hard for your family, and to allow a roof over the house, the food on your table, the values you try to instill, yet they're looking at another family. So that's hurtful. Or maybe insecurity, right? You want to say, or maybe a couple times my mom even said it under her breath, like, why don't you go live with their family if they're so good, right? And you're probably thinking the same thing, that we become insecure that, well, if we're not enough, right? Or question your own parenting, that is there something I'm missing, that this family is so much more appealing to my own daughter than our own. Or maybe there's jealousy, right? Why are they so much better than us? Those are some of the feelings that can be evoked in us when our daughters start to compare their friends' families with your own. And why is it actually a good thing that she shares that with you? Well, here's a part I really want you to lean into. The fact that she is saying this out loud to you, that's gold. That's information, because it tells you a few really important things. Okay? First, let's ground ourselves in what's really happening here. Okay? Your daughter is in a stage of development where she's naturally wired to compare. She's asking questions like, who am I? What do I like? What kind of life feels good to me? One of the main ways she figures that out is by observing other families. Right? She's grown up. She's been in this bubble, been exposed to her own family. And now her eyes are wide open in puberty, right? This adolescent stage. And she's starting to notice other families. This isn't, I want you to hear this, Mama. This isn't her rejecting you. This is her learning how to think for herself. She's expanding her world beyond what she's always known, right? What she's grown up with. And that's exactly what we want. We want her to think for herself. One, she's sharing what she really thinks. She feels safe enough to be honest, even if it comes out dissatisfactory or, ungrateful, She's not filtering herself. She's not hiding her thoughts. She's letting you in her inner world. She's giving you her raw thoughts. And that means you've created something really powerful. It's emotional safety. Even if what she's saying is uncomfortable or disrespectful or annoying, the fact that she's saying it is a win. Okay? 2, she's giving you information to file away. Think of these moments like little clues. She's telling you what she values, what she's noticing, and what stands out to her. Maybe she keeps mentioning how her friends' family eat dinner together, or how they travel, or how the parents communicate. That doesn't mean you need to change everything in your family, or even compare or make, keeping up with the Joneses. No, not at all. But it does give you insight in what matters to her right now. Maybe she does want family dinners. Maybe it's been a while since you've traveled together, and it doesn't have to be a lavish, expensive vacation. Maybe it's a staycation where you stay at a local hotel, or even get creative, stay at home and make a vacation out of it, where you guys plan and be tourists within your city, right? That doesn't mean you need to change everything. And those become really meaningful conversation points later, right? Not at that moment, but they're things to notice and file away. And 3, you get insight into the friends she's choosing. Honestly, this is gold too. This is a big one. When she compares, she's also revealing the environment she's spending time in. Who is her family, her friend's family? Who is her friend? What are some of the things that they enjoy together? What are some values that they value? And do those core values match yours? You're getting into a window of the dynamics of her friends' homes, the values she's being exposed to, the kind of influence that she's choosing to surround herself with. And that's incredibly valuable information as a parent. So mama, after those points I've just given you, I hope this helps you shift your perspective. So instead of hearing your family isn't good enough, I want you to start hearing, my daughter is thinking, my daughter is observing, my daughter is inviting me into her world, because that's what's really happening here. This is not the time to get insecure. It's not the time to get hurt or jealous. It's the time to get curious. You don't have to defend your family. Honestly, this is not an episode about why your family is so much better. It's not a time to defend your family, because you don't have to, quite frankly. You don't have to explain everything away. Instead, just get curious. You can respond with things like, what do you like about how they do that? Tell me more about that. Well, that's interesting. What stands out to you most? Okay. Now you're not shutting her down. You're opening her up. And those conversations, that's what allows you to connect with her at a deeper level, understand her a little bit more. What an opportune way when she does compare her friend's family to yours. Now, here's the truth. This is going to happen if it hasn't already. Your daughter will compare, she will question, and she will notice differences. And instead of seeing that as a threat, you can see it as an opportunity to understand her better, an opportunity to guide her thoughtfully, and an opportunity to strengthen your relationship in a really meaningful way that is entering into her world, right? Remember, mama, this isn't about you. It really isn't about how you're choosing to raise your family. It's about unlocking that vault in her. And this is a great way for her to reveal what she's really thinking by comparing her friend's family with yours. I hope this has changed your heart about when she does that, and it allows you to shift your perspective. Instead of feeling insecure, jealous, or hurt, because it can be very hurtful, especially the way she says it. But find this as an opportunity to get curious and to value this as a way of her opening up. Now, mama, if you found this episode meaningful and you automatically thought of another friend that could benefit from this episode, because maybe she's dealing with the exact thing that I am talking about, will you do me a favor and share it with her? Share it with the person that needs to hear this, because I know it'll be helpful, and it actually is a great way to bring in mamas that need support and encouragement during this time in raising their young daughter, just like you did. I'll see you next time. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you or encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to share it. You can screenshot this episode and share it in your stories on social media, or text it to a friend who can use the support. It's the best way you can thank me. I want to let other mamas know they are not alone. I'd love to stay connected with you. You can find me at raisingherconfidently.com. Until next time, live full of grace, Jeannie.